Hi there, my name is Jessica Hagg and I'm director of the Arlington Street Community Center. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today I have with me one of my biggest partners. She's been with me since day one, Grace Tavares. Hi, Grace.
Hi, Jess. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Doing good.
I'm so grateful that you could come and be here with me today. Thank you. We first met at Dr. Crisp, where you work.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And then we also, just everything that we do together just blends so seamlessly for the center and for the community at large.
Well, one of the nice things of having you as a director there is that, you're more available and there's more opportunity to do things for the families at the school and for the families in the community, which allows us to partner more. We have the tie-dye night, we have the cooking class, and
Yes.
These are all things that are fun and beneficial to the families in the community.
Right. One of my greatest strengths that I've gotten from you for sure is meeting the families, because I admire so much about you is that the families know you and they trust you, and if they need help, they come to you. And it's just such a great partnership that we can say, hey, they need some resources for their kids, the center has that, or they're looking for a preschool readiness group, the center has that. And, oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, something that we've been striving for at the school for a long time is to have preschool or early youth educational programs, like your reading tutoring class that you had, and things for the younger kids, because a lot of the after school programs are meant for second grade and up, which leaves K or pre-K through second grade out. And those children need help, they need things to do, parents need after school care. So a lot of the programs that you're rolling out for this fall is right up the alley of things that we've been hoping for, wishing for, praying for type thing,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's already the end of August.
I know summer's over.
Summer is over. We didn't get to go to the beach as much as we wanted.
I know.
We both love the beach. But school is starting next week.
Yeah, so staff goes back Monday the 29th. Most of the students go back on the 30th. For kindergarten, it's just like maybe A through L, comes in half day. And then on the 31st is the other half, M through Z. And then the following week, it was all hands on deck, everybody's back.
Wow.
So speaking about the school, we are looking for, as a district, there's a lot of positions open for help in the kitchen,
nice.
for kitchen staff, lunch monitors, paras, you name it, and that's throughout the whole district. So if anybody's interested, they just have to go to the nashua.edu website and just look at the schools, in the neighborhood and apply for a job, because in all actuality, we like to hire within. We like to hire our families and the children's parents so that they can see their kids at school and the kids see their parents, and to make that tie-in with the school. So who knows? All you gotta do is try.
Are they mostly part-time, or are they part-time and full-time?
They're both.
Both. Awesome.
Yeah.
And are there any benefits that come with those?
I think that maybe if they're the full-time kitchen staff, or obviously a para, or some of the other staff members that are full-time. But if it's a lunch monitor, I think that's a part-time position. But I really don't know. That's not my forte.
Right. And it's good too. Part-time positions can be really hard to find that are lasting, that aren't just a couple weeks. So that's great to know that if anybody's looking, they can just go to the Nashua EDU website and look at available jobs. Yeah, that's perfect.
It's good for parents that have children who only want to work mother's hours. I mean, it's ideal.
Exactly. Yep. Because as soon as the kid's out of school, you're out of work.
Exactly. You go home with them.
Exactly. Yeah. Bring them home with you.
Yeah.
Wait in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
awesome. So this Friday, with UNH Cooperative Extension, you're going to be leading our nutrition class.
So one of the things, I'm going to hold up my little handy dandy book. This is one of the incentives we'll be giving out, which is a cookbook that has a lot of healthy and easy recipes that have been approved by UNH Extensions. Our cooking classes and our nutrition classes are all based about giving information to low-income families, newcomers, refugees, things that are tangible, easy to make, healthy, follow the My Plate guidelines, and are inexpensive, so that anybody can afford to make the recipes or to enjoy them. And it's our goal to make sure everybody's healthy, and that's where all grant money comes from, to make sure that we are getting the word out there so that people are being healthy. And that's another reason why we have all those gardens and working with Grow Nashua. You see all the produce coming into the center to help the families, and that's free produce. And the families that participate in the gardens around the city, get to reap the harvest. And it gives the kids the knowledge that, the food does not start at the supermarket. It starts with a farmer, and the farmer is like really important. So I think and obviously that's one of my passions since I love plants so much, gardening and all that's fun. But it's nothing better than eating a fresh grown tomato or
that you grew yourself too.
It's more economical, especially in these times when everything's so expensive.
I know. Yeah, prices are rising for everything. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
But we have fall coming up. We have our community nights. They're going to continue throughout the school year. We also have Nashua Goes Back to School is coming up.
That's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
At the library, the Nashua Public Library. It's an event that pretty much every agency in Nashua that's involved in it cares, including the community center. And let's not forget United Way and the school district. All these wonderful agencies throughout the city that give school supplies to the kids that need it. I mean, and you can just imagine how prices have doubled and tripled even on school supplies. But it gives the children an opportunity to be equal and to have what they need. And it's also a fun night for the family to get out. There's activities. You get to meet your new teachers, see your new principal. And I think they do an awesome job. The way they set it up, and I know this year is going to be outside again. I'll be there as an interpreter if somebody needs to help in Spanish. But I've always, like when my kids were little, they used to love to go. I'd lose them in there. They'd go get a bag and somebody might have some snow cones or, win a prize or a game. And it was just like a fun night out, and the lines would be way past the library. So I'm hoping that since COVID that this event will be as successful as it has been in the past, and we'll see a lot of families out there.
I was going to say, especially in your two different roles, because you're at UNH Cooperative Extension, you help out Salvation Army, you're at Dr. Crisp. Ever since COVID, have you heard some needs from the families and the community?
Well, I'd have to say that I have to thank Salvation Army quite a bit, because during COVID, they allowed me to be in there often. I did multiple days of, especially Friday afternoons, I would give out donations. They came from the food bank or, Trader Joe's or Home Goods, wherever it came, Whole Foods, wherever it came from. I was able to invite families from school to come and get what they needed. And that gave me time to keep connected with the families, obviously nobody was in the school or in the building. So it gave us an opportunity, with the assistance of E68, to keep out giving out bags of produce, non-perishables. And then if people needed clothing or, needed to know where to go to get their vaccines or whatever the needs were, it kept it open. The city's, Nashua's health department, there's so many wonderful people there to work there. I can't just mention one, but they're all fantastic. But they also made it easy when somebody needs to get the vaccine or if they needed to go someplace. And then you have Stephanie over at Harbor Care that helps people if they don't have insurance or get be seen. So Nashua is really a fantastic place to live. You have all these agencies tying it in. But I think in a time where everybody was out of work or worrying about tomorrow, between the district doing everything Zoom so we could still connect with the families, and these agencies still willing to donate so that we could help the families, it kept me doing what I'm passionate about. And I think it helped me continue to be successful. So, I mean, you have all these agencies. You don't leave out the soup kitchen. But they do a lot too.
The soup kitchen is fantastic.
So, when you think about it, there isn't just one agency that does it all, but collectively, you can't miss out on what you need because everybody's doing something. And then you have wonderful people in the town that, if somebody's downsizing or somebody's lost a spouse or a parent, they'll call me and say, we have all this furniture and we can distributed to families. So there was a time where I thought I was a professional mover for a little while. I had Salvation Army's van all the time. Well, I had their van. And then some volunteers. And there was a couple of parents that had vans and they would pick up and help. But we were able to help people. They needed a bed, if they needed furniture, if whatever the needs are. And then you have people like Katie's Closet that help the schools get the kids clothes so that nobody can tell if somebody's homeless or needs something. Which is really, this day and age, things are tough and things are mean and kids are critical. So you want to make sure the kids feel enable, comfortable, and equal. That they don't feel less than someone else. So all of those things tie in, and I mean, it keeps me really busy, which I like.
Yeah.
But I never feel like there's not a way to help a family.
Right.
Housing might be a whole nother issue when somebody's looking for an apartment, but that has nothing to do with any of my jobs.
Right. And the market too is just so hard right now. Just to find a place that you like, and then to be able to afford it.
Yeah, the affording part's the hard part.
Exactly.
I mean, rents are out of control, and income doesn't even match it by half, you know, so it makes it really difficult.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, I think that one of the things that means the most to me that in our conversations that we've had is how we can help kids, especially kids who English isn't their first language, because we've talked about, both of us come from families where English wasn't our family members' first languages.
Correct, yeah.
And so that really impacts how we help those kids and how we respect their culture and respect where they're coming from.
Well, one of the things I like is that you're on board about the immigrant and what their challenges are in the community. I mean, when you think about it, when people come here and they don't know how to read, they don't speak the language, they're uncomfortable, maybe scared, maybe a little bit timid. All of those things makes it hard to navigate everyday life.
Yep.
And I think that, especially for the children, the fact that you want to do an ELL homework program for the kids after school, you know, the younger children for the school year, we don't normally never have that. But that's a really big plus. You know, regardless what language they're coming in speaking, they need to learn English. They need to conquer the spelling and the writing, and having these programs like, you know, tutoring and early intervention at the center helps the school, it helps the families. I mean, those are programs that, you know, we've been trying to get for a long time.
Yeah.
So finally having them, or having seen them, they're real close to come to fruition, is really exciting, because we can now call families and say, we have this program, it's right here, it's, you can walk to it, it's in your neighborhood, it's free, and and it really helps tie in everything. And I think that what makes me successful in both jobs, between the school and the university, is that, you know, I'm working with the families and seeing what their needs are. But when I come in on UNH's behalf, I'm giving them an opportunity to get information. Well, we have a lot of curriculum about healthy eating, about staying healthy. You know, we have programs for seniors, you know, Walk with Ease, if people have a lot of problems with arthritis. I also became an instructor on chronic pain and chronic disease series. So like we can pretty much like target any aspect of a family's need. And we do such a great job with the illustrations, with the hands out we give them, the incentives, and like some other surveys that I wanted to talk to you about that's going on with Maria Carlotta. She has one program where they want to know about your fiber intake, and there's gift cards. If you complete the series and, you know, comply, you can get up to $150 in gift cards with Carlotta. And she's been, you know, very interested in the Hispanic community, and how, you know, because that's one of the things that in that community there's a low fiber intake, and why is it, and you know how important fiber is for your body. So that's one issue. There's also a job position open for a coordinator, so that's kind of a fun thing, because it's about the same kind of things. And then they're also looking for like a part-time nurse or an EMT that can do the blood drawing for these surveys. And you know, so there's always a lot happening at UNH. There's always the search.
It's a huge university.
Oh my God, I feel like we're like big government, you know. We have so much happening.
A lot of resources.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, if you have agriculture, you know, you have 4-H, you have the health and family, you have the resilience. There's so many different divisions out there to conquer what everybody needs. You know, so if you're on the coast and you want to know what's happening, you know, with our aquatic life, or, you know, what's happening, you know, we have a group. If you're into agriculture, if you're into forestry, and it's interesting to see the different people that brings in, and the vast knowledge that everybody shares. I mean, I'm forever learning something new. And I think that's exciting too, because you're never limited. You're not stuck on just one plane. There's so much being offered, and it's offered to everybody, you know, and so that really helps. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, UNH is always striving to make it better, to make it more accessible, you know, for technology to be easier to be access. Yes. And like during COVID, we did a lot of things remote. So we all had to learn new things, and it was challenging. But then, again, you had to learn some skills. So, I had to learn how to use, Zoom and all these things that you say, well, I don't have a use for that, but to work and continue, you needed it, right?
Right.
So it kind of like blends well. And then when I go into schools, different schools to teach kids like from pre-K to like, maybe 6th, 8th, 7th grade, the
and
kids
at PAL too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Also PAL is like one of my ultimate like best places to go because you have kids from all different backgrounds. They come and go as they come in. If they want to stay, they can be from any part of Nashua or right in that Tree Street area.
And it's free.
It's free. We do a gardening project, so we have a lot of raised beds over on the Ash Street Garden.
Yep.
So the kids like planted things from seeds. They planted the veggies.
Aww.
They really like to be in control, like who planted what and who's watering.
Those are my green beans.
Yeah,
don't touch them.
But it gives them hands-on opportunity.
Right.
And then we do cooking, and we've done
because they have their kitchen now.
Yeah, and then we've done like some activity programs. So I get to try different curriculum with them. It's not always the same thing because they have me often. I feel like family. I'm so welcome there.
Yeah. And the kids know you. They're Miss Grace.
A lot of times they want to come back to a class they've already had, but like, Jayla or Officer Ben or Jen, all the people.
Great.
It's like, I feel like, I don't feel like I'm working. I'm home. I'm with family. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And at Salvation Army, we made our own last summer raised garden beds.
Oh, cool.
But they changed coordinators, and now they have Catherine, who's a little younger, and she's more into planting and gardening. So I think this year we were more successful with our garden project. But there's the same thing too. You have a lot of kids, so like I feel like I make more impact with the youth because it's just not, Dr. Chris or Amherst Street. I get to see other schools and other children.
Right.
And then we did a pilot, it was Sesame Street type of pilot for preschool. We did it with the preschoolers over on Franklin Street. So that used to be the Christian Academy building that we're doing. So like I get a chance to meet a lot of people. I feel like my jobs are fun. I get to socialize a lot and meet great people like yourself that share similar interests, like the farms and the fruits and the gardening projects, and then other things that are impactful in the city. So I mean, it's not like it's a boring job. It's fun. Right. And especially when it's with good people.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel the same way. To me, working at the center and having, like last week at our tie-dye community night, we had 34 people there, which usually our max capacity is 20 people, but thankfully we had enough room. We had childcare there. We had enough food for everybody. And just seeing the positive reaction, the growth, the immediate growth, like that was week 2. And automatically, so many people are hearing about it and wanting to come and asking, what's the next one going to be? What's the next one going to be? So we have our nutrition class this week, this Friday. We still have some spots available. I think we have room for maybe 1 or 2 more families to join us for this Friday.
Correct.
There's a registration link. Or you can email either of us. My email is ascc@nashua.nh.gov. But we also... I was talking to some parents at the end of tie-dye night, and I was saying, Labor Day weekend, we're going to take off. We're not going to have a community night that weekend just because it's a long weekend. A lot of people are going to be going away.
Right.
But what's something you guys want to do when we come back? And unanimously, everybody said, can we please do a karaoke night?
Everybody wants to sing.
Yes, so we're going to do a karaoke night.
We have a karaoke machine at the school.
Do you?
Oh, we do.
Oh my goodness. See, this is where the partnership comes in.
I think that when we used to do family nights at school, we'd have different events like a family game night. You had the families could play board games in the camp. You had karaoke in the music room, and the art room. They were making crafts.
Oh, that's fun.
Found that togetherness with families sitting down to have fun.
Right.
But no matter how old you are, everybody likes to sing.
Exactly.
I like to sing. I just don't want nobody looking at me when I'm singing.
We can duet, mask it. Somebody's microphone is off, somebody's microphone is on.
I mean, it could be fun, but I think that's good. We're really focusing on getting the families back together to spend time and caring about the community and investing in the community. If you're volunteering at the school, if you're volunteering at the center, you're showing that these things mean something to you, and you're adding your time. You're giving us that opportunity to make these things happen, which is really important.
Exactly. I am so grateful for all the volunteers that I found. I'm so grateful to know you and to have met you and know people like you, because community doesn't happen without volunteers, without people who care, without people who are asking where are the resources, how can I get them to you? And so the volunteers who have come to me who have said, oh, you know, I have some time, I want to give back to the community, how can I help? It just amazes me every time, and I'm so grateful.
Well, you know, when I mentioned to you that we needed some weeding and some things done up at the
Yes.
school before we had our events on the 9th, you mentioned
Which
it
was
to the
so fun.
You mentioned it to Arlington Street Community Church right
Yes.
there, and they came right
They're
away. And
great.
it's people I knew
Yep.
inadvertently, but they did such a great job. You know, that one family, Heather and her husband James, they came in, the
Cynthia.
kids,
Yep.
they just came in and within half a day, that whole garden area was
yeah.
clean, and it makes
And those are just people who want to help.
yeah,
Yeah. It's incredible.
yeah, every little bit adds up.
I know, thankfully, right?
Yeah, thankfully.
That's what we need. Yeah, so we're planning our future community nights. We're planning for back to school. We have fall events coming up, Halloween events coming up.
Again, the
We were
holidays.
even talking about Thanksgiving, you know, doing something for Thanksgiving for the community.
One of the things I liked in the past, we had like when school started, we had like a kickoff at the center. We always did like the Halloween, something outside. It was fun. Christmas time, you had like the tree giveaway and you make your ornaments, and sometimes we had wreaths donated. And it, you know, brought other parts of the community back to the center. I like to see those things continue.
Oh, yeah.
But we can make a lot of new things happen. And educating our kids and helping them with their needs is like priority. So like I'm just so enthused that all this can happen, it's gonna happen, and it seems like it's gonna happen with frequency and consistency. So like I'm excited, and I don't mind volunteering and helping out even when it's not part of either one of my jobs, because I feel like it ties back into work and it and encourages families and people that I know. If they see me, they come, and I think that helps because it gives them confidence that I believe in what's happening enough to be there and volunteer my own time.
Right,
you know?
exactly. When I was working at United Way, one of the most surprising things that I learned was families with young children are the people who reported feeling disconnected from the community the most. And like we were talking about, the importance of early childhood, that's when you really need to build the basics for education, for healthy emotional attachment, language development, physical development. All of that happens in early childhood. And for the New Hampshire Nashua data to say that those parents are feeling the most disconnected, that's what makes me so excited to do the work that we're doing. Even community nights, one parent can meet another parent, you know, and
you have to
just
start
stop
someplace.
that loneliness.
I mean, if we don't start, it's never going to happen, and it won't grow. But at least if we take the baby steps and get it started, like when you're with your tutoring classes, or you know, if we have the ELL for younger children, the homework clubs, all those things, and word gets out there. You know, the community center's doing this, or this is available at the community center. Then people are looking, they're coming, and then you know, the tie with the school is the families. We can say, hey, you know, this is being offered. Take advantage.
Come on over, walk on over. We're right next door. Yes, yes. So I want to make sure that we talked about everything that we had to today, but I believe that we did. I think the one thing that I didn't mention, which we touched upon, was once October rolls around, early October, we're going to start opening the center up for kids, especially from Dr. Crisp. Not specifically, but I just feel like it's easiest for them to get over. But they can play board games, they can have homework help, we can have specialized groups for ELL, we can offer dance classes upstairs, we have the computer lab there that they can use. So in October is coming up so fast.
And that's the nice thing is like the middle schoolers, or there's a lot of programs right after school or for younger children. But like our middle school kids or the high schoolers, where do they go? What can they do to socialize, to have homework? Yeah, I mean, they can go to PAL, or maybe they go to Girls Inc. or Salvation Army. But then there's kids that transportation reasons they can't get there, or maybe economically they can't get there. So having a place that they can go to get them off the street, to keep them out of trouble, and it's benefiting them, I think it's a wonderful idea.
And the center, one of my goals for the center is that we remain consistent, but also very flexible to what the community's needs are. I would also love to have middle school teenagers, high schoolers, be able to come and see the center and feel empowered to use this space and maybe even create other programs and events for their community, because that's coming straight from the future of the Nashua
And we
community.
could reach out to like 4-H or other parts of UNH for like STEM
Oh,
or some
so cool.
some programming for the kids that may be a short term, but if we did it kind of
Yeah, like once a month or every Wednesday or something.
something like that.
Yeah.
That just enough to keep the kids coming and gaining some info from it would be good.
Yeah. So if anybody has any ideas, they can always feel free to contact me. Again, that's ascc@nashuanh.gov. I'm always looking for community's input, questions, opinions, whatever we can do to make the community center more beneficial for the Nashua community. That's why we're here. So thank you so much. Thank you to Grace.
Oh,
thank
you're welcome.
you for
My pleasure
being
to be
with
here.
us. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for working with me.
I'm having fun. So
It's
I'm
a
going to
pleasure.
at work. Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll continue to do that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you'll see us. If you come to the center, you'll definitely see us
Yes,
there.
you will.
Yes. But thank you so much for joining us. This is Jessica Hagg from the Arlington Street Community Center. We'll see you next week. Bye.